This too is truth at a mystic fount of life. That is the whole purpose, meaning the real truth behind life. A black veil has been lifted. That is the no. Black veil has been lifted. No has gone. We have seen the mighty shadow of the omniscient Lord here. But who has lifted the veil of light, the unknowable? Who has lifted the veil of light? And who has seen the body of the King, the mighty? It is this King in the Christian theology who is Christ and whose bride is this beauty of the bride, you see. This King he is the King. The mystery of God's birth and acts remains. What for all this creation? The riddle of this world has remained the same. Leaving unbroken the last chapter's seal, unsolved the riddle of the unfinished play. The play goes on, it has not culminated yet. So that is the whole purpose of it. See how systematically the poet has described the sequence of the whole operation. Yes, play is there is a meaning there to complete it. The cosmic player loves within the mask, he has put on the mask cover. And still the last inviolate secret hide behind the human glory of a form, behind the gold eidolon of a name, eidolon, image, phantom. He has put on that name, you see, eidolon. Behind the eidolon. So this is the whole name behind that thing. Behind the human glory of a form, behind that thing is something else. So that is a mystery, that is the clay. And the mask is there and the player is laughing behind the mask. A large white line has figured as a goal. But far beyond the ineffable sun tracks blaze. Far beyond the ineffable sun tracks blaze. Beyond. Ineffable, unknowable again. Now, this line, you see, you have to understand it very, read it very carefully, this line. See, it is not, but far beyond, you read it like this, but far beyond the ineffable sun tracks place.
Suntrack means
Ineffable, unspeakable, not to say.
Suntrack.
The tracks of light, gold, sun, supramental glory, paths. Yeah. So many rays, light, domain, realm. So they blaze, so to say. Now, therefore, you have to read the line like this: far beyond the sun tracks, ineffable sun tracks blaze. You should not read like this. You should not read, but far beyond the ineffable sun tracks blaze. It is not that. See, you cannot break the sentence like this. There is a difference between the two. Yes, understood. Far beyond the ineffable sun tracks blaze. It is not that. Beyond the ineffable, beyond the unknowable, as if the sun tracks are blazing. It is not that. They are before the unknowable. You have to read the line not like this, but far beyond this ineffable sun tracks blaze. Well, that is the poet will not do that kind of thing. You have to understand. See.
That's why I asked the Suntracks because I don't know this word and I thought it's a verb.
Yeah.
It's far beyond
Yeah.
the ineffable that the verb is.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought it's a verb for.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to read it like that. Far beyond the ineffable sun tracks blaze. It is not far beyond the ineffable. What saved the source and end was a wide gate, a last bare step into eternity. That is why beyond syntax place. An eye has opened upon time. From it is from there the eye has opened upon time. An eye has opened upon timelessness. Infinity takes back the forms it gave, drawing, and through God's darkness or His naked light, His million rays return into the sun. The ray is a zero sign of the Supreme. That is the Shunya, that is the nothing. It is withdrawn into that. Nature left nude and still uncovers God. But in her grandeur nothingness, all is there, her nature. All is there. When her strong grasps are torn away from us, the soul's ignorance is slain, not the soul. Soul's ignorance is slain, but not the soul. The zero covers an immortal face. A high and black negation is not all. Again, he's saying, no, 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 it's no, not no. Neti, neti, neti. No, that is not. Iti is also. A huge extinction is not God's last word, that you go and disappear into the unknowable. That is not what He wants. He wants you to be in manifestation. He wants you to remain in manifestation. But now a manifestation not of ignorance, but of knowledge, of joy and happiness. A huge extinction is not God's last. Life's ultimate sense, the close of being supposed, the meaning of this great, mysterious world. In absolute silence sleeps an absolute power. That's what we have started with this. In absolute silence, the absolute, the perfect, the alone. See. It is He who called her out of His. The absolute silence leaves an absolute power. 15.7 correspond to that, you see. Awaking. Now Ashwati has the conviction, has a certainty that if she is awakened, that power. If she is awakened, then it can wake the trance-bound soul and in the ray reveal the parent sun. So everywhere that sun will be revealed then. It can make the world a vessel of spirit's soul. It can fashion the clay God's perfect shape. It is that power who can fashion in the clay God's perfect shape. That is his concern. He has found who can do that thing, who can bring about that change. She can fashion out of human clay the perfect shape of God. Shakti power, the absolute power. Yes, Shakti. Of that unknowable. See, he started with that, no? In absolute silence, it is that. She was asleep, now she has to be woken up. And that is what Ashwati is doing. Come on, madam, get up, start your work. You see. To free the self is but one radiant pace. Yes, you have become free of birth and death and work and fate. That is one major step. But that is not the end of it. Here, to fulfill himself was God's desire. Now, this is the entire test of the Arabandonian yoga. First, you have to free yourself. For what? So that God fulfills Himself in you. You have to become free so that God fulfills Himself in you. You have to empty out yourself totally so that only God can come and decide and do His work in you. So this is the entire crux of the Arvindonian yoga. You see. Now, it is this thing which is the real pursuit of the unknowable. He got now the clue, the hint, what to do. Yes, absolutely there. But that Shakti has to come down. So he goes and prays to that Shakti. Please see. Even while he stood on being's naked edge. So he's standing now at the top of the peak there. And all the passion and seeking of his soul face their extension in some featureless far. The presence he yearned for suddenly drew close. So it is now she is coming down to this presence here is the same thing what we had here. The absolute power.
Yes. The voice would say, "Oh, soul, it is too early
to rejoice."
Is it the voice of this?
Yes. Because he could have disappeared. Now the soul is reminded, look, you had done all that thing. You are free of death and birth and etc., all that. But what about this whole work for which you had taken the birth at all? So you had to draw that power here and see what out is. So logically the whole canto is very well systematically organized and developed, you see. To free the self is what one radiance. Yes, that's a glorious thing. You have become free. But that is not enough. You have become free for what? You have become free so that God's desire is fulfilled in you. God's desire does not get fulfilled in you when you are in ignorance, when you are death bound, when you are a sorrowing creature. His desire does not get fulfilled. You have to be free of that first. Across the silence to the ultimate calm, again, from there, you see, out of a marvelous transcendence core, from the Supreme Paratpara, a body of wonder and translucency, now he sees the Divine Mother emerging from that silence, across the silence to the ultimate calm, out of a marvelous transcendence core, a body of wonder and translucency, as if a sweet, mystic summary of herself. So she is appearing on the horizon there. Yet she is what? She is a summary of her real self beyond. She is not a full. She is taking a figure. As if a sweet, mystic summary of herself, escaping into the original bliss, had come enlarged out of eternity. She has come and lived here. Someone came, infinite and absolute. So as his soul is yearning now for that, the presence is drawing closer to him. She is responding to him, you see. She is coming out of the unknowable to greet him, so to say. And who is she? Someone he has not named here. Who is she? A being of wisdom, power, delight, with jnana, shakti, ananda. She is the being of all the jnana, shakti, ananda. She is that being now. Even as a mother draws her child to her arm, took to her breast nature and world and soul. So she is coming out and she is embracing now the entire creation in her arms. Abolishing the signless emptiness, breaking the vacancy and voiceless hush. See, that unknowable is there, she is even pushing that thing out, so to say. See, she is taking it. Breaking the vacancy and voiceless, piercing the limitless unknowable. She is the one who can pierce the unknowable. Into the liberty of the motionless, a beautiful and felicitous luster stole. She is emerging from the unknowable. Image itself in a surprising beam and built a golden passage to his heart. Between the unknowable and him, she is now the bridge, the passage, connecting them, you see. Touching through him all longing, sentient thing. So this creation, she is touching through him. a moment's sweetness, of the all beautiful, cancelled the vanity of the cosmic world. She is beautiful, sweetness. Although she is appearing here for a moment, so to say, there, but it is she who will cancel everything which is going on here, vanity, world, samsara, chakra, the cycles of creation. And nature throbbing with the heart divine. So what happens now in the heart of nature is the divine heart itself which is beating. Was felt in the unconscious universe. See, even the universe now is feeling that thing, you see. It made the breath a happy mystery and brought a love sustaining pain with joy. She brought that love. The mother of love has come here. Mother of love has come here. A love that bore the cross of pain with joy. Yes, she has plunged into the ignorance. She has borne upon herself the travail of this creation. She has plunged into this one. Eudaimonize the sorrow of the world. Eudaimonize, made happy. Made happy. The sorrow of the world. It is she who can really change that thing. Made happy. In fact, this phrase is explained here itself. Made happy. This is the Greek word, eudaimonised. The way to the long and ending time, the secret cut of God's felicity. God's felicity. What is the secret of that? She. God's felicity is she. He cut now that secret. You see.